Hey guys, I'm Rix here, and today I'm coming back at you with another rendition of Minifig Monday. But I will stipulate that, title with the fact that this actually might come out under a different title. I've been thinking for a while now about changing the title of my Minifig Monday episodes and possibly not really having a set schedule for them. If you guys look through the channel, you'll notice that those Minifig Monday episodes really were kind of a cornerstone of this channel when I first started it. However, recently, they've just been going down in view count really, really badly. Like, I get 400, 500, 600 views on mock videos. I get, 300 views on my haul videos, but then for some reason, these minifigure review videos, they get maybe like 100 or 200 views, which, it's not, I'm not all about the views, but there's something that's not working about this series. Maybe it's the title. I don't quite know what it is, but we might be changing it up. That's all that, that long statement really just means that it might be changing up in the near future. So don't be surprised if, you don't see any more titles that explicitly say Minifig Monday. It might change to something like Minifig Reviews or something along those lines. I'm not entirely sure. So keep an eye out for that if you are a dedicated watcher of these. I know that there are a few people that are my subs that really enjoy these videos and are very frequent in the comments. So I appreciate all of you. Before we dive into this episode, so you might be wondering, whoa, this seems like an older Brickmania figure. Well, I wouldn't quite consider it old. It came out, I think, 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago when they first released their instructions set. They released this modern Cold War pilot, which, let's give it a 360. This figure is just out of this world. This is some of Lando's best work in a really long time. I have to say that. It just seriously blows out of proportion all of the competition for these minifigures, especially with that 3D printed helmet, as you can see, and then also just the unit patches and the design style that I think Lando is shifting towards now. As you might notice, this figure, it feels a lot different. And what I'm saying when I say feels a lot different is that the design style on it, the actual front of it, looks very different from what his style has been in the past. It feels a lot more refined, detailed, and for lack of a better term, it feels like he's making thinner lines. I think that one of the biggest detractions of Lando's artwork in the past has been his uber thick lines. They're just super, super thick. That was just a design style. I'm not saying that it's bad or good. I'm just saying that personally, I did not enjoy it as much as I enjoyed thinner ones. And what you see here is that he has started to embrace a thinner look, which I think is great. But anyways, why don't we dive into the actual figure? As you can see right here, it is a Cold War pilot. I think that earlier in the episode I called it the modern Cold War pilot, but there isn't really a modern Cold War pilot since technically the Cold War is over. But anyways, guys, as you can see on the front, he has a wide variety of equipment, including a flashlight, some pouches, lots of zippers, and kind of a harness. If you know the specific equipment that you can see on the front here, I can't name it all. As you guys know, I'm not a uniform connoisseur, so if you guys know what he's wearing, go ahead and let me know. I'd love to learn something. You guys are constantly teaching me new things every day when you see these videos, so that would be appreciated. If we come around to the side of his figure, if I lift his arm all the way up, what you can see is more zippered pockets on the body, or should I say on the torso and on the legs, along with that boot print. And then we also have the Jolly Roger unit kind of patch on his arm, which I think looks great. And then if we move around to the back, we have a continuation of his harness and the straps. I'm actually not entirely sure what this reads right here. I'm sure that it says something, but I do not have good enough eyes, especially from the distance that the camera and this minifigure are from me, to read that. So if any of you know what's written on there, go ahead and drop it below. Now we move on to this side of the minifigure. We have a continuation of those zippers. And then on this side, instead of a unit patch, as you can see, he has a zippered pocket. I don't know actually what this is. This might be an air hookup when he's in the jet. I could be totally wrong. I'm speaking without knowing entirely what it is. So if one of you know what this is hanging from his belt, why don't you go ahead and let me know? I'm actually very curious now. This has really piqued my interest, and someone please let me know. I'll probably look it up after this, but I might not be successful in finding out what it is. So if you served and you wore this uniform, or if you worked on these planes, or if you know someone, or if you are simply a history buff and you know what this is, please go ahead and let me know. I'd love to find out that information. So now we've returned back to the front of the figure. I think something that's great about all of these figures is that, again, the lines seem thinner and it seems more detailed. I like the direction that the recent Brickmania figures are going in, and I hope that it's kind of continued into the future. Now, if I bring him a little bit closer to the camera, maybe right there, you can see the front in a little bit more detail, and then I'll spin him around one time for you guys so that you can kind of see the full extent of the printing. Moving on to the head and the helmet, which I think is really an addition to the kit, or not kit, figure, should I say. The helmet obviously is this insanely detailed 3D printed helmet, as you can see here. I think the head, it's a good try at simulating the horizon in this helmet. You know, this would be a visor normally that would come over here. I don't really like this. It would be great if they could have 3D printed a visor and then had an actual head on the inside, because you take off this helmet and you put it on the ground. What is this guy? He looks like an Among Us character. So it's not very helpful. But alas, it does look good, or it looks decent, should I say, when the helmet is on. Really, you know, the best part of this figure is this helmet. The 3D printing department at Brickmania has just been killing it recently with all of these 3D printed elements. I've been noticing, much to my positive remarks, that the hold that these helmets have is much better than previously. You guys might recall that I created a video probably about half a year ago that talked about how a lot of the 3D printed headgear from Brickmania did not fit. It kind of fell off and was kind of a failure, right? But these newer pieces, not failures at all, as he nods his head no, as he shakes his head no, should I say. Other than that, I don't really think that there are too many more details that I want to get to in this figure. All in all, it's a really awesome figure. This is probably my favorite Brickmania figure that has come out in this year, 2021, along with the Vietnam pilots, or the Vietnam Huey pilots, should I say. However, those are stuck behind, you know, a $500 kit. So I don't really know if I can compare them to this, because this was sold standalone. Now, I believe that on the day that this video is going to be coming out, these restocked. So it is possible that you could be able to get your hands on some of these guys. They have a 2 figure limit per person. So if you want to get some, you can only get 2 so that everybody can try and get them. They're probably sold out by the time that this video is actually premiered on the channel. But if they're not, you should go ahead and give them a look, because they are a great figure. Other than that, I don't think that there's a whole lot of stuff to add. As I said, this is a really great design and a really great new design direction I think that Lando has taken in terms of how his artwork looks. And the 3D printing on this figure really, really knocks it out of the park. So kudos to the entire Brickmania team for really coming together to create a great standalone figure and really putting some awesome amounts of effort into a standalone figure that isn't behind, you know, a giant kit that you have to pay tons of money for. I think that that's what's also so great about this figure, is that it's very accessible in comparison to a lot of their other awesome figures. Other than that, I don't want to wind on for too much longer. I think that this review has already been long enough. So as always, guys, like, comment, subscribe, do all the normal stuff, and I'll catch you next time.